Hello, UNI Panther fans and Valorant fans alike. Welcome to week one of the spring 2025 regular season. Tonight, your UNI Panthers from Cedar Falls, Iowa, will start their regular season against St. Ambrose Fighting Bees from Davenport, Iowa. UNI is coming off of a mixed bag placement matches, going 1-2 in their initial bout, and looking to continue their momentum into the postseason for this semester. I am glad you all are able to join us tonight. My name is Hunter. In the booth and working double duty as always, we have Monty. Monty, how are you doing today? Yeah, you kind of missed a nice little mixed bag, some really good highlight moments, especially coming from the stars of our team. But I feel like there's some things that you and I needs to work on, and maybe they worked on it going into this regular season because the placement matches kind of matter and they kind of don't. But once you start regular season, it's all ticks and tallies, wins and losses from here. Every win is important. Yeah, absolutely. So, typically, we have kind of the maps already pre-selected. So, did you want to kind of run through those for everyone? What maps we're going to be seeing today? Oh, which is actually interesting considering how good of a defensive team UNI is. Yeah, that is the kind of interesting thing that UNI kind of finds themselves in is that if they get a pretty good, comfortable, like defensive first half, they usually tend to play a little bit more relaxed in that attack because they usually have built up rounds that they can kind of work with. So maybe they kind of get relaxed. But it is kind of interesting to see too because of Lotus. Of course, for those interested, last year in the regular season, we played Lotus 4 times and we won 2 of them. And if you consider our placement matches, we played Lotus twice and we won 1 of them. So we have a very strong correlation of 50% win rate on Lotus. So what are your thoughts on that, Monty? Yeah, I think Lotus is a really good map that, you just have so much versatility to it, and the attack points are very, you know, favored for one side or the other. But either way, it's going to be interesting to see. And as we load in now, what kind of composition do you think we'll see today, Monty? Absolutely. And as we're kind of getting these selections made, UNI is going to start off with the starters that we had from last semester: Favelet, Beefman, Raging Remy, Mr. Surclaps, and Pop Tart. While St. Ambrose is going to be looking at DZ, not Burt, Bornick, Ubi, and Wave Check, but we'll just be calling him Wave. So, really excited to see UNI retain most of their starters from the fall semester. So, I mean, it's going to be one of those cases where, maybe he can step up, be a leader on the team, and hopefully make a lasting impact as he transitions into graduation. And it's going to mean that someone else in the university is going to have to step up and fill that role. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this team's going to change. But for right now, we have to focus on this semester, and it starts here in Lotus. Yeah, I don't understand why that pick was made. Also, we saw a lot of Tojo from placement match. Tejo, thank you for Tejo.
Retrieving wall. Now we wait.
Yeah, what kind of kit, because it being a new agent to play, what part of his kit is kind of considered overpowered here? Right, and out. Oh. Yep, nope, you're perfectly fine. Already out the gate, UNI goes down as Beefman will finally get easy.
Yeah, we do see Wave putting in that first kill there as well, and Pop Tart going to be solo holding just 2 people outside of C here.
Kind of see him push down main.
There we go.
B.
Definitely forgot to change my mic. I had to update my PC a while back, and it kind of just switched everything over.
Oh, no, you're perfectly fine. Was it silent?
It was completely silent.
I was talking to myself the whole entire time.
Yes, you were. I promise I was responding, though.
Very, very, very well considered. So, already initially, Mr. Cirque Claps able to take out Ubi, but not Burt, picking up 2.
And Pop Tart, now in a 1v3, knows that all of the players have to be towards main side here. He does have an angle in smoke, able to find 1. Finds 2, and now 1v1 against Not Hurt. And close round coming up. Pop Tart is going to have to stick soon. Finds the kill onto Burt, and a clean 1v3 clutch from Pop Tart.
Yeah, getting 3 kills there is so important, and it's nice to start off in these pistol rounds. Getting a clutch play, I feel like that's going to be a statement starter here, at least in this first map of Lotus.
Yeah, and we're seeing UNI winning a pistol round, and not trying to flame them too much, but definitely not something we always see. We see UNI usually somewhat weaker on the pistol rounds, and they were able to find one here. So we might be seeing a 2-0 start for UNI.
And that would be really nice, too, to kind of start off strong. You're starting the regular season. It kind of gets that weight off your shoulders as you're coming out of placements.
You see a heavy push from SAU coming out onto the A site, and Fablet able to pick one up through the smoke here.
Huge play there with the Outlaw, able to get those early picks, and especially against the Jet, that's important.
You might be able to find another one here. DZ pushing up through the smoke here, actually taking a lot of space. Fablet gets taken out, and Raging Remy's going to swing off of his mollies here, and finds the kill.
Yeah, getting really aggressive there for DZ, and just a really nice reaction play by
might find Pop Tart, finding out Omen here. Huge pick from Pop Tart on the lurk up B.
And the Bees have still yet to find a place to plant, and they're going to have to rotate back around, and maybe they might commit to A.
And UNI is in a very strong setup. They have 2 players in each site in that Vizu gel to hold off the C push.
Spike down A.
And now with bomb down, this is going to be a very difficult round for Wave to win
30 seconds left.
We will find Pop Tart, and Pop Tart will actually find the kill there. Now UNI up 2-0 into their bonus round here, looking like they have just a couple stronger weapons here, but nothing too crazy.
I was going to say, are you kind of maybe expecting hopefully a thrifty type round here? UNI going up with a quick 3-0?
There's definitely potential, especially with UNI if they have that Outlaw still over on the A site. And it looks like we're going to be seeing a Spectre and just a Spectre over on the A site here.
Where are you?
Favorably going for the early info on A.
Marked one.
Sees a lot of people there. Scans almost all of SAU.
Yeah, that is a hard commit over to A. They're going to try and work through tree.
And we just have 5 players sitting there still. And we might see Pop-Tart actually run into a fight here on flank.
I love this flank here. If he can just catch him right out of place at the right moment, I could easily see him pick him up.
Favorably getting the info that there's a couple in tree here. And SAU looks like they're going to kind of just try to play around this A space.
Still waiting.
And with the flank by Pop-Tart, there's a lot of information there, knowing that it's a 5-stack on A.
And UNI knows that they have to, because they have to be there, they're able to hold a lot of space here. SAU slowly pushing into sight here. Might be able to sneak up onto Favourite here. And Favourite gets taken out. Now Mr. Claps alone with an Outlaw.
Spike planted.
Gonna have to switch to the classic. Tries to get a headshot. Does.
Finds a kill on Reyna. And now you might be in a 1v1 scenario here back site against the Omen.
Really nice initial push here as Beefman gets wave.
And Beefman looking, you probably just try to play an exit frag here. As there's 3 people on site. Sees the jet. He gets a lot of damage in there. Unable to find the kill though. And Mark able to close out the round.
So what do you think SAU did there that really had a clean initial plan when it almost seemed like they were going to be dead to rights to that Pop-Tart flank?
I think the big thing is there is them full walking up A site made UNI kind of worry that they might try to fast rotate off or something even. Because I think the reason UNI wasn't able to close that round out is they were playing too far back into their own spawn. They were trying to hold that space, but just playing 2 people on site when you could have had 4 or even 3 just kind of ruined the round for them. And
it looks like SAU's going to change it up here, push towards C.
The Pop-Tart getting a clean 1-tap on to Reyna. And now we will see UNI took the space all the way up A on Rubble. And they will be giving it back, it looks like.
Another interesting thing to note too is I believe UNI is getting heavy-handed with these first floods, so really beneficial here for them in the early rounds.
Yeah, and we are going to see that full B space being held there as well because of that Viswell just being, like I said before, so strong at holding, able to completely hold off attackers.
All missiles away.
See Remy actually modeling off wave here. Slightly misses him though. And Remy with an op actually is getting tagged up there, but he does have someone to fall back to on site.
Yeah, we saw Remy with the op early in the placement matches, got at least good for 1 kill a round, and he's going to try and look for that here. But he's half health, and he's going to have to play a little conservatively.
We do have Favourite ready for the B hit, and Pop-Tart able to pick up another frag on C.
1 enemy remaining.
And Favourite gets one, but gets traded out there, actually. And we will see Burton 1v3.
Mike's digging. Thanks, little man. Up we go. They shot him.
Now Burt fighting for his life, unable to find another kill. Pop-Tart able to close out the round as the 3K.
So going into this next round, UNI going to go up by 2 rounds. What do you think UNI has to do here to kind of continue to spread the deficit?
UNI has a lot of money here and should be able to hold off these pushes. The only issue here is the Gekka ult. They could easily take all of C-Site with a Gekka ult. Just it can completely clear everyone off.
Blinding crash.
All right, you and I gonna have to set up a 2-1-2, and that's gonna be a full push to C.
You want to play? Let's
Initial
play.
pushes for Ubi. And tons of information coming from the Tojo. Or Teo. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to write that down. Teo. Thank you.
We see Remy able to find another kill here.
Down C.
And tries to get a couple, gets traded out there with the Marshall by Wave.
Panther ready for the push with the flash. Finds two.
Spike
Mr. Surflap's
down
coming
C.
in clutch too, picking out DZ, throwing a grenade, and cleaning out the choke of C.
Thirty seconds left.
And now it just leaves one member of SAU and 3 members of UNI. All there on C.
Can we find
Oh,
Wave
nice
and get a kill there?
10 seconds left.
Now Beefman for the angle, and Mr. Surflap's able to close out the round.
Yeah, nice job by Remy getting the initial pick with the op. Again, UNI is getting a lot of these first bloods, which really hurts SAU with them trying to play whatever that they're trying to play, and UNI just doing a really good job at reading plays and getting the information right now. Don't you think, Monty?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with these they're getting a lot of first bloods, it looks like, which is able to open up the round into having a numbers advantage. So UNI is able to hold these sites so much easier because of that.
All right, Mr. Sir claps good for 3, gets traded out. Ubi to clear him away, and Ubi picking up a second.
Now we'll see Beefman holding angle on Ubi, who's 1 HP here. Isn't able to quite find the kill, and Mark will be pushing up to try to contest as well.
Beefman laying down the smoke, trying to close the distance. And Pop-Tart flanking, picks up 2.
Pop-Tart going huge this game, able to pick up 12 kills in the first 6 rounds.
A 12 and 2 with, I believe, what, 2 assists? So strong, really good at the flank plays, forces SAU to take their first time out. So Monty, UNI up 4 in game 1. They're doing such a good job at getting information, getting that first blood. SAU, what do they got to do to come back from this?
SAU definitely, I think they're playing very well. They just need to speed things up just a little bit, because how they're playing right now, they're just giving UNI a lot of these first bloods, and UNI is taking that space on A lot of these rounds here as well. So it's really hard for them to play the map when they don't have any control.
So what do you think that we saw the only match that, or only game that SAU won was kind of that A site kind of like
I need a drop.
all execution. So what do you think? Do you think they still should push A because they've been trying to push C and it hasn't really working? Or do we do what most teams do against UNI and go with a sneaky B push?
I don't think the A push is bad. I just think that they need to play it a little bit different, especially if UNI doesn't take the chance to fight it. They can take up that space for free, and that space helps a lot. They just need to try to do something else on it. But if they do keep seeing similar things to this round where UNI is setting one up on C, they need to try to get that info and then back off and hit C. As we saw the pings during the timeout, it does look like SAU is going to be trying to go through breakable door onto B here. We do see Remy trying to hold an angle here. Has ult and mollies to keep them off bomb, though. And the Reyna will be getting aggressive.
Burt getting the plant
Spike
on B.
planted.
Live
So
munition.
UNI is trying to regroup for a retake here.
Able to trade 1-for-1 for each team. Wave,
This is how
though,
we
picks
act.
up Zabel.
We're seeing a big Tejo ult coming out here,
All missiles away.
picking up one. We are going to see Pop-Tart taking the fight on main. Able to find one. And then Wave is actually all the way flank.
Oh, got down UNI just a little bit, but couldn't quite execute there at the end. UNI up 5 rounds now.
And UNI starting off strong here. And SAU does have a lot of dangerous ults here. Still having this Gecko ult could be used to take up the C space once again.
So kind of looking at that Teo ult, knowing that, and do you think SAU knows that they're going to be up 4 ults? Or at what point do we start seeing them maybe utilize them to get back into this?
So it's going to be very unlikely that we see them this round, just because we have UNI does have a money advantage, and Favourite picking up 3 on a spray.
Spike down B.
Holy cow, look at Favourite go, and good thing they were reserving those ultimates because, wow, what a play by Favourite.
Now we'll just
And
see
all that
Wave
leaves is Wave.
trying to walk up A, and I believe UNI has the info that he was here actually. Able to find a shot on the Favourite.
It's deadly.
Picks
with
up
the deal
2.
there. And he's going to
Teleport's
pick
ready.
up a Spectre. Or Phantom, excuse me.
UNI does have bomb down on the front of B site, so it's going to be a very hard round to come back here from. Looks like he'll be taking his time, rotating all the way around. Beefman seems to maybe be aware of this.
30 seconds left.
And Wave might has to clear this corner. It's just Beefman while smoking. And he only has 14 seconds. He's going to have to take this fight.
10 seconds left.
Unable to find Mr. Circle Collapse with a really close round coming out for Wave there.
Yeah, and out of all the players here for SAU, Wave's been pretty dangerous tonight. So really nice job that UNI was able to surround the bomb, get it cut off. Unfortunately, that Beefman wasn't able to kind of get that early pickup, but UNI now going up 6 rounds.
And it looks like SAU is going to be setting up for another A hit here. And UNI seems to be maybe getting aggressive here with 3 players hugging the walls on main. And a lot of Utah coming out from both teams here. UNI taking the space. This is a collapse. Taken out on the fight, but does get a
Right there.
kill in first.
You did good.
SAU's going to go ahead and be a little aggressive there on the A side, rotating in through tree, trying to get through the point.
Monster on the loose.
Wave putting down some suppressive fire.
Wave trying to hold his space here. Is going to be able to find Favourite. And
Spike
Remy actually
down
getting a
A.
kill with his mollies as well on the Burt. And Pop-Tart's going to actually catch Wave off guard there. And Remy just trying to get him off bomb. Gets taken out by Ubi.
This is going to be a 2v2 retake.
Spike planted.
UNI going to come through that A main side area.
UNI does have smokes alive still. It's going to be a really hard round here for SAU to win.
1 enemy remaining.
And DZ actually picking up a huge kill there on a Pop-Tart.
It'll all come down to beat.
So aware of the angle. Let's see if he's able to find the kill. It's taken out. A huge round coming up for SAU. Using that Gecko wall to full clear sight and is able to take all of that space onto A.
The big Achilles heel that UNI has is aggressive initiations out the gate on a specific site. And we saw that early. Of course, there were some trades, but a clean initiation, get the plant down, and just kind of wall off those angles and have sight on them, and a really nice play. Of course, DZ getting 3 kills that last round.
You want to play? Let's
And
play.
one thing I'm seeing here is that SAU is looking to be ready for that push up C from Pop Turn. It's been a thing that's been happening all game, and we did see Burt kind of just waiting for that push outside of C at the start. And as I mentioned before, this is UNI taking all of this space up A is huge. It's going to be really hard for SAU to try to retake this, especially with this kind of crossfire that's going on here as well. And we see a blind coming out. DZ getting caught out from a lot of util there.
That's really nice. Getting the hot hand out as the initial first blood, as Remy is going to go ahead and take out Burt.
Finds another kill with those Teo nades. Just such a strong agent right now. It's just more of a nuisance than it is anything, in my opinion. But we're probably going to be seeing him a lot tonight. Mostly Raging Remy playing him. We see Ubi trying to
30
get aggressive
seconds left.
over towards C. And UNI seems to be aware. Bork getting taken out again.
Last player standing.
Clap's getting another kill there as well.
So that's just going to leave Ubi with the bomb and going to initiate on 4 members of UNI. Can get it done. Fablet getting the pickup. UNI, 6th round.
And that's a huge hold coming out there from UNI. Just taking that space and able to keep it the entire time.
Now we wait.
I think one notable... You're good.
Go ahead.
One notable thing here is we are seeing Pop-Tart alone on C continuously. So it could be a great idea if SAU was able to try to just take that C space. That's one thing.
So
that's one thing that's been their downfall a lot. Is C site.
yeah, that was the one thing that I was going to ask is Pop-Tart's character playing. Obviously, it's not necessarily a cipher where you can kind of get a lot of information, but we see him put down a lot of those like mines per se, or those traps. And is that just how the character is built?
Yep, so pretty much it's just spikes, and if they run through them, they're slowed and take damage, and it makes a lot of noise. But we do see him playing in front of his util a lot here. He is going to be fast flanking. And we see a lot of fighting coming out through tree here. UNI not actually playing anyone on site. Remy might actually get cut off here.
Bork able to take out Mr. Circlaps off screen. Ubi's going to get the plant.
Now UNI looks like they're going to be setting up for a hard retake here. And Bork actually not aware of Pop-Tart there. Now a 3v4 UNI on the retake here.
Remy's head is going to
Last
be
player
popped
standing.
out. DZ knows he's there.
DZ now in a 1v3 in a tight spot here with 6 bullets.
Able to find one.
He has to reload though. He only has a classic here in hand. UNI's aware of it in a shot coming up from Pop-Tart.
Pop picking up 4 that time. Excellent job by Pop-Tart there.
Last
Coming all the way
round
from
before the
C,
switch.
getting the flanks. I feel like the rear security of SAU needs to be improved if they want to make anything happen here,
Now we wait.
as we are at the last round before the half.
Yeah, and also here, this is the problem with the map on not having a raise. It's just so hard to take that C space because without having that nade, just for this close area where we see Pop-Tart setting up his util, you can't clear any of that util out without a raise. As begins. We do see Beefman going to be holding an op on B here, be able to find one, and Remy finding one on A.
Nice! Beefman picking up 2.
We will see SAU getting really scared here, kind of trying to play back here. Not able to hide from the dog. And Mr. Sir collapsed, unable to get the kill with the ult.
Last player standing.
Ubi does a nice counterplay, but Beefman picks up his 3rd. It's just going to leave Bork.
Born almost able to pick up one there, even though he was hit by that Visal, unable to use his Vandal.
Beefman picking up
Switching
for
sides.
that round. Way to go. Using that Omen up.
And now a 10-2 half, switching sides here. Now UNI on the offense and SAU on defense.
What do you expect to see here from a UNI offense, Monty?
I'm expecting a lot of kind of 4-man pushes somewhere, and then having that one lurker. Because we've seen Pop-Tart in all of his games throughout the last year or so. Just really good on that lurk. And we are going to see a chamber peek up B here. And UNI might actually be ready for this.
Yeah, they're all kind of stacking towards B. I wonder if they're going to try and plant B, maybe rotate out to C.
And UNI taking a really fast B hit here. Wave might actually be able to pick one up from this angle if he doesn't get cleared. Knows that the raise is in. Actually gets killed through the smoke.
Yeah, that was a nice smoke placement by Beefman.
Beefman and Mr.
Spike
Circlops
planted.
playing in the smoke. Might actually catch. And Ubi getting a kill. Fable picking up the trade, but DZ also picking up Beefman there.
Yeah, that's going to be a 3v3 retake. Excuse me,
Last player
2v3
standing.
retake now.
Remy also picking up 2 on that waterfall angle as well there.
This is something that we don't typically see, an aggressive UNI and getting the cheeky B plant.
It was definitely a great read from UNI there. Seeing as the chamber not being as hard of a sight holder for SAU is just going to have to try to peek those angles and try to get those kills to slow down UNI.
So kind of looking at this raise that UNI plays, of course, Mr. Circlaps really good on the raise. Do we just expect to see continued aggression?
Grenade is live.
It's very likely seeing Mr. Circlaps on a only duelist most of these games here. And we'll be seeing a lot of Tejo from UNI. And huge kill
Mr.
coming out from
Circlaps.
Mr. Circlaps.
Yeah, able to go ahead and get it done early there with the Spectre.
And we see a 5v4. SAU going to be setting up for a retake, and Wave getting taken on the flank. We see a top-down angle being held here.
Last player standing.
Davelet able to pick up 2.
And DZ getting taken out by the run and gun there.
Yeah, and I feel like SAU's just not ready for
Match
what
point.
UNI throws at them. And going into match point of the first map here on Lotus, what's UNI doing so well that's got them to this 10-round deficit?
I think just the pure aggression in the team play coming up from UNI is able to set them up for this space here. And Pop-Tart, as I mentioned before, I think he's 21-3, is just able to get all of these lurks, and he's playing it so well, just able to take that space when UNI is holding the sights. And Bert not getting any info on that blind, actually. UNI going to be taking up C fast. And SAU actually full giving the site, going to play that 5v5 retake here.
Yeah, as they're kind of standing up towards heaven.
Spike
UNI
planted.
prepared with that smoke already there at the doorway.
Remy is going to be caught in this close corner, but UNI playing these aggressive angles. Wave going to be trying to find Fable here. Bert getting full flashed, and Remy taking a kill here.
Ubi, there's lots of trading going on. Still a 3v3. DZ to
Enemy
pick up
kill.
Remy. Ubi, headshot on
Last
Beefman.
player
Fablet,
standing.
though.
I mean, 1v2.
Picking up 3.
And the eye coming out. Ubi stuck in a really bad spot. Has to stick bomb here soon. Knows he's getting sandwiched, and Fablet finding 4 to close out the game.
Attackers win.
Yeah, that's going to cause a 13-2 first map win for UNI. Monty, what did you like from that first map of Lotus?
I loved UNI's aggression there. Just getting up in the faces of SAU, able to get those, as we see here, a lot of first bloods and take a lot of that early space.
Yeah, as we're kind of looking here, Pop-Tart 21, 4-4 with a first blood. Mr. Circlap 16, 9-2 with 5 first bloods. UNI came out aggressive, and it stayed on defense and offense really nice job here to kick off the 2025 spring season.
And one thing to point out that I did forget to mention before is these two right here, the Fade and Reyna, are actually brothers on opposite teams here.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting here. Fablet and DZ, brothers. It's a sibling rivalry, Monty. That's actually pretty fun.
And definitely, we're going to see if DZ's going to actually be able to take over Fablet here on their next map and take that map pick onto Bind.
Yeah, so going to be defense on Bind. Bind, a very interesting map. But as we have a moment in between maps here, if you want to go ahead, do exclamation point merch, or I will go ahead and post a link into the chat. That will take us to our merchandise store where you can get fully customizable jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, you name it. We're selling it, and doing so will help support the club. So make sure, if you got Valentine's Day coming up, great. So get something for the gamer in your life. Go ahead and support UNI. So Monty, looking at Bind, what are we thinking about Bind?
Bind is going to be interesting because once again, with that Tejo and Vise being new to this season, it's going to be interesting to see how the comps get changed up. Because Tejo is going to be a perma lock for UNI, as far as I've heard, for all of the games. So we're going to be seeing Raging Remy playing a lot of Tejo, and it'll change up kind of the comps that they've been playing from like a Gecko Fade, maybe even to a Breach Tejo comp.
Interesting. So we're kind of expecting like the aggression more, you think, then?
Most definitely. Just because those mollies are able to clear out so much space, it's so easy to take that site control or even just control anywhere.
Yeah. So then, do you think at this point still too that Mr. Sir Claps is going to be at that like raise in insta lock? Because he plays it so well, or do you think we're going to see some Jet a little bit this year?
It'll most definitely still be a lot of raise, just because seeing how a lot of the maps are in the game currently, we have a lot of maps that are really good for raise, including two of the maps we're seeing tonight, Bind and Lotus that we just saw as well. If we go to a map 3 here, we will likely see a Jet coming out on Haven.
Yeah, I mean, but we got to get to map 3 though first, Monty. And with the way UNI's been playing, do I dare say it? Do I dare say that we're gonna do a 2-0?
It could be possible, but we are going on to SAU's map pick here, which this is one of UNI's stronger maps, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this map's played now with that Tejo added into the game. It is less likely to see a Viper probably now, but I think we'll still see at least one like Viper Astra or Viper Brimstone comp here.
Yeah, I do like the Brimstone pick. I am a personal fan of the Deadlock pick on defense, especially if you're going to start as strong as you did. When you're looking at a map like Bind, I see the benefit of picking a Deadlock. I don't know. That's just me, though.
It is definitely one of Deadlock's strongest maps in the game currently. Probably, in my opinion, being beaten out only by Abyss, or at least for sure Abyss. Just because it's such an open map already, it's kind of... even with those flanks, it's going to take the enemies so long to flank that you don't really need the trips as much. Because
that is very true.
By the time you have that site control, you're going to be able to throw someone back into that main angle and hold that flank.
So kind of looking at this year, Monty, what is some things, because you used to play on the team and, you know, you've been a caster last semester, be able to see these guys, see what they can do. What do you expect? Kind of like a season prediction for this UNI Valorant.
Ooh, for season, it'll definitely be interesting because I think about halfway through the season, we're going to be changing map pools again. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where that goes with... I don't actually remember what maps are leaving and what's coming in. I believe we're going to be seeing Ascent coming back and Icebox, if I remember. Which will be interesting because Icebox was never UNI's best map, if I had to say.
Yeah, Icebox is really kind of difficult, and I do remember them playing it briefly, or at least seeing some of it. But I agree, Icebox is just an awkward map, and it's really hard to get those initial engagements, and it doesn't really benefit the stereotypical like composition that we would typically see from UNI.
In my opinion, I absolutely despise that map with every bone in my body. Even though I would get to play Yoru, which is probably the most fun agent in my opinion, but it's just not an easy map to play. Just so many angles and so many ways to play the map. It's hard to be able to master it.
Yeah, the one thing that I kind of hold personally in my heart is that Icebox was my very first Valorant map. So I like it. Of course, competitively, that's another thing. And as my main of Sky, you know, it's pretty interesting pick playing Sky on Icebox. But thankfully, we don't have to think about that here. But we do see Bert picking the Sky here. This is quite the composition that SAU is pulling out. What do you think they're gonna do here?
This is, since Bind is already such a strong defensive map, I think they're just going to be taking advantage of that Cypher and Sage double Sentinel comp, because Sage is actually really good on offense on this map as well. Just all of the walls she can throw are just cut off so much of sights.
And I do like to see Mr. Circlaps back on the Raze. You know, if you're playing aggressive, Raze is really good there. Pop-Tart on the Viper, usually we see like maybe Beefman play that. I guess Pop-Tart typically does too, but Beefman on the Astra or Astra. How do you say that agent?
I say Astra, but I get told it's
Astra?
wrong every time, so...
Oh. Well, you know what? That's okay.
Astra is the way everyone else pronounces it, but I have my opinions because I had a song in choir that we had to do that pronounced it Astra. So I will hold that to my grave. That's how it's pronounced, and everyone can fight me for it if they want.
All right, so going out the initial gate, looks like SAU is going to be stacking up on that A side at the lobby, and it's going to be a 2-3 hold for UNI. What do you think of that Viper kind of wall there, cutting off the beat?
It is one of the best Viper walls in the game, actually, just because it cuts off 3 of the 4 angles on the map. So if UNI actually plays aggressive on it, on that shower peak, they're going to be able to take space. But we did see some pings coming out from SAU before the round started. It looked like they were going to be going for a wall and plant with Sage here.
Yeah, interesting to see Sage here early.
And they're going to be seeing the tail mollies coming out early. Actually, probably should have saved those for the plant. And Mr. Claps able to find the kill on Born.
Spike down A.
Yeah, Born going down. The spike planter can't get that clean bomb plant. It's going to force a 4v5 retake. Now, with DZ picking up Remy, it's going to be a 4v4 retake.
And a heavy fight coming into U-Haul here. UNI coming out on top, it looks like. 3v2 now on the retake.
Yeah, Pop-Tart coming in clutch there with the Deagle. Sheriff,
One
so
enemy
important.
remaining.
Mr.
Ubi.
Circlaps.
And they hear Wave stomping on flank.
Mr. Circlaps picking up 4. Get the defuse. UNI, strong defense yet again.
And I think after UNI saw that Sage pick, they were ready for that plant to happen. We saw all those 2 Astra stars being thrown on onto a default, able to get that stun and pull with a raise grenade for a free kill.
Right, looks like we're going to see the wall put up yet again. And SAU, again, looking at that A short section. Do you want to try and continue to do that wall?
Definitely. It's just because of how much pressure it adds, it makes it so when you're playing double smokes, you don't really need to use your stars on Astra as much. And we see Beefman actually just being able to hold this angle instead of having to worry about smoking.
Yeah, nice early pick there with the Marshall.
And Wave actually or trying to get a pick on the Pop-Tart there. The backing off in the end.
And they also dropped the bomb. So as we see Bork going out and around, what do you think the play is with that, leaving that bomb there?
They're kind of just playing for seeing what they can get first. Trying to play a little bit of contact everywhere. Try to default a little bit. We will see Bork kind of pushing into Favelet's angle here. Favelet gets him down to 30 health.
It's essentially one tap here. Bork trying to get the deagle shot out. Favelet gets the...
And then we do see Bork getting eyed out. Might swing Favelet. Favelet unable to pick up the kill, but we see Remy taking up the space shower.
30
So
seconds
to
left.
note, Beefman off screen, able to get a couple more kills with that Marshall. It's a very important. That's going to be a 2v5 plant.
We see UNI doubling up on the long angle, and Bork knows this. He hears it. Now 15 seconds on the clock. Ubi needs to dash outside
10
here.
seconds
Needs to
left.
take the space.
Last player standing.
Tries to take out
Flawless.
Pop-Tart, can't. Mr. Circlaps finally taking out Born. And a clean defense for UNI.
UNI starting off strong here, and as for this map, should be expected, just because, as I mentioned earlier, defense is much easier on this map than offense is. So UNI picking up 2-0 on the start is what we should be seeing, and hopefully we will see them continue to push through these, because they need to get a lot of rounds on this defense half.
Would love to see more aggression come from SAU as well. Of course, you're going to have to be playing against that Marshall, which you got to be kind of weary about. But if you get the wall, get the engagement, clear out U-Haul, I think that's
Ubi
what.
sees Beefman on the angle. Unable to find the kill, though.
And that was so close there for Beefman, just inches away.
And Mr. Class looks like he might be trying to get aggressive. Remy getting a kill with those grenades as well.
A nice pickup on Sky there.
And no plant coming out here, actually. SAU baiting out all of the util from UNI.
And they know they're going to be sitting there in U-Haul. Easy, we'll get the plant.
And Wave will be needed. We'll probably just need to give this space here, actually. And B-Man getting a huge kill into DZ over the wall. Wave getting a trade.
Cage 3.
That's going to be a 4v3 retake. Knowing that Wave is in U-Haul. Bork able to pick up Beefman.
Wave getting taken out. Now Ubi finds one under Remy.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Bork able to close out the round, getting 3 huge kills.
Way to go, Bork. He's been silent the first map. See him come up clutch huge. Of course, that's kind of what happens when you don't kind of play B solo and get cut off by Favelet.
Right, and that is a big round coming out from SAU. Getting a lot of kills there. Even though it was still UNI's kind of eco round, Beefman was almost able to win that round for UNI, getting those, I believe, 2 kills with the Marshall early.
Yeah, also big shout out for SAU being aggressive. That's exactly what they need to do here. And hopefully, maybe they'll close the distance and tie it up, UNI, with a 1-round advantage.
I would definitely like to see SAU try to play like a little bit different of a Sage Wall here, because they know UNI is going to be ready for this. And Mr. Circlaps, unable to find one there, gets taken out early. Once again, a lot of util coming out from UNI, and no plant actually going down. And now a 5v4 on the site hold for SAU.
One dead.
Easy, getting a nice headshot on Favelet again, just getting these clutch critical shots.
And as I mentioned
important for SAU.
about something, maybe a different type of wall, this is exactly what I was talking about. Getting that wall mid-site funnels all of UNI into that angle.
Pop-Tart able to pick up DZ though. Pop-Tart looking for 2. Remy gets the clean. Pick up.
Pop-Tart does have his Q still, will be able to...
Last player standing.
And Remy finds one more, but unable to pick up the round.
That's going to go ahead and tie map 2 2-2. And looking at this, are we going to have to start thinking about ultimates, whether you want to kind of even the playing field here?
Most definitely, UNI is going to be on kind of eco round here, not having a lot of money. So it's probably going to be a little bit more of UNI trying to gamble something, as we do see 2 players of UNI stacking up towards the shower side of A.
And we're going to see a B push coming out from SAU, so UNI's going to have to think about that.
Able to hit one for 101 here. Is going to probably just have to try to get out here.
Of course, that's tons of information. Knowing down B long, the whole team's coming. UNI's going to have to rotate around.
And one notable thing is UNI still having 2 all the way up that shower side. If SAU TPs, they might run into a stack, and they find both kills.
Unfortunate there, just kind of caught out at the wrong moment, leaving Beefman with the Marshall up top. Gonna get intercepted by Ubi.
Ubi unable to find the kill, but does get the pressure out on the Beefman there.
Ubi gonna go ahead and get the plant. And UNI is gonna have to look at a 3v5 retake.
Can't use this for you.
And a huge kill coming up from Bert there. UNI kind of just stuck on that heaven angle. They're gonna have to either break that stage wall CT or just try to swing out of the smoke.
Last player standing.
Pop-Tart getting taken out in the smoke. DZ able to pick him up.
Now Favorite with just an outlaw, or just a marshal, and is probably going to try to kill one or just die to the bomb here. Not give the enemy anything.
That might be the play that he's kind of going for. Maybe get a cheeky kill, and does on DZ.
And he might actually find Ubi here as well. Ubi getting a Vandal and able to get out as well.
Yeah, so SAU finally able to get it together, going with their first lead of the series, 3-2. So what's SAU been doing here that's been working for them, Monty?
Their comp playing a lot more aggressively here, trying to take their space, is working so much better for them than it was the last game. I think just the change of their team comps around enough to be able to hold that post plant after they get the site has made everything so much easier. Because we saw even kind of in last game, they were able to get on the sites a decent amount of the time, they just couldn't hold it.
I'll find you.
And Fable's going to get the info that at least one is long here. Does spot one as well there.
Yeah, he's going to try and bait out a couple shots. SAU doesn't take it.
And currently looking like a 2v4 towards the B side for UNI. And Pop-Tart getting tagged up as well in that hookah.
Yeah, he's going to have to be mindful of that.
SAU slowly trying to take up the space on to B here. And we do see Wave lurking all the way up A.
I was just going to mention that Wave flanking, if he's not going to be picked up by Beefman or Tejo.
So to say, UNI seems to be aware of this. Beefman holding this angle. It looks like he's actually ready for it.
And here comes the engagement on B.
And we see the Fade ult coming out for UNI. And huge kills coming out from UNI here.
Yeah, able to pick up 3 on the initial engagement. Wave able to trade out Remy. Beefman ready.
So ready for the angle. I'm actually impressed that he was ready for that still.
Gonna have to leave now with DZ, and he's got the res if he wants it, but he's gonna have to secure the plant first.
And UNI in a really good spot here. A 4v1 on the retake.
Mr. Surclaps on one tap, being aggressive there in heaven.
Mr. Claps just kind of trying to bait a little bit. And gets taken. Mr. Claps actually ends up getting that kill on 1 HP.
Yeah, that was kind of like a high-level play there that if DZ would have gotten one of the guns kind of angled just right, able to get that spread shot pickup, but can't quite get it there. UNI now ties it 3-3.
And that's a good round for UNI to win. They now have 4 ults on the board. 4 really good ults here. And SAU only with a Brimstone and Sage ult. It looks like we will be seeing Pop Tart using the Viper's Pit here. And UNI will be just playing 2 people towards the A side.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting here. Being SIU, go back down A short.
One strong thing here is with this Raise Rocket and the Tejo ult, I don't think Mr. Clap saw him. But with those 2 ults, they will be able to hold off the plant for a long time. Mr. Clap's getting taken out, and I don't even know what angle he was on.
Yeah, Remy and Hookah finds one, but gets traded out.
Spike
And now a
planted.
2v4 coming for UNI, just Pop-Tart and Beefman alive.
And SAU gonna try and lock it down.
Some slow pushes coming up for UNI. We have Bork having all of the space in the world in U-Haul here. Beefman finds the kill. Pop-Tart finds another there as
Player
well.
Standing.
Beefman trying to get the flank. It's gonna be a 2v1.
Almost finds one actually there.
And a nice job there by Ubi, able to pick up 3. Just a nice initial engagement.
UNI now down by 1 on defense unbind. It's kind of a rough start to this game. But they do have 3 ults available still. And it could definitely change the upcoming rounds.
Yeah, dare I say, I might have caster cursed it, Monty. We might be going to a game 3.
It's okay. We're professionals at that, so...
Yeah, absolutely we are. And again, the advantage now in favor of SAU. We're going to be sneaking through showers.
A huge play here, actually, for UNI. They're taking the space up with the Sage, or with the Viper wall.
Locating targets.
UNI having 3 players up showers, but that drone actually giving away their position.
SAU's Sage able to realize that, going to rotate around through showers, get a bit of information there as well. Going to be playing a waiting game.
Bert finding the initial pick onto Favela here. But UNI will be holding a cross in showers here. Mr. Clap picks up both. Now in a 1v3 on site, he finds another.
Spike down A.
Look for another as well.
Mr. Clap picking up 4 for UNI.
Excellent job there. Just really keen mechanical play for Class. Pop-Tart catching Ubi out. Very nice job for UNI.
And Mr. Clap's able to more or less single-handedly win that round for UNI there. Able to get that trade, the 2-man trade off of Remy. And then getting both of those kills on site. Just able to completely shut down SAU's push.
And of course, we saw glimmers of this in placement matches. Getting a couple 4Ks. And already, Mr. Circlaps, 11, 5, and 2 in the second map. So our kills leader from last semester getting it done now.
And one thing I would like to note is that 2 players on SAU have 7 assists, playing they're playing very well together.
Yeah, the synergy of SAU is very strong.
And this is the class able to almost find one there.
Yeah, DZ will go ahead and get some heals. Remy down to 1 HP.
And just a lot of util coming out for UNI, able to do a lot of damage, but only finds 2. They do find another kill there. And
DZ will use the res on Bert.
Pop-Tart going up flank, but Borg seems to be aware, as Pop-Tart's done this quite a few rounds. Does get taken out by Borg.
Yeah, nice play by Borg. Of course, that's the one thing that they really improved on from game 1 is getting that rear security going.
Bam.
If Favela able to get the trade there, finds a Vandal, might be able to clutch up this round.
Unfortunately does not. DZ goes down and Beefman goes down as well. Again, we're going in this back and forth kind of gameplay here, Monty. It's very well competitive.
Yeah, and UNI still holding onto this Raze ult, as well as SAU holding onto this Brim ult for quite a while here.
What kind of moment as a Brimstone are you kind of looking forward to unleash that ultimate?
As a Brimstone player, personally, the two best times to use it are if you're hard rushing a site, you can get something kind of like how Raze is getting aggressive here. You can use it aggressively to push enemies out of the position, or you might even be able to use it for a fun scenario.
Wave grabbing the shotgun, gets a little bit of damage. Of course, Bork and Bird able to pick up two members of UNI. Favlet goes down to DZ as well. And it's going to be a 2v4 plant to A.
And Mr. Claps and he creates mine. I don't know if they actually knew he was here.
It's a couple shots off, and I don't even think Wave knew he was there.
Right, and we do see a lot of damage going on to Bork. Now SAU 4v2 on
Spike
the bull.
planted.
Pop-Tart and Claps have been able to work a lot in the past. Try and use some of that synergy that they have. Get the retake.
As much as I'm gonna love this attempt here, this is a really hard round for UNI to come back from.
Last player standing.
Yeah, Burt taking out Claps. It's going to come down to Pop-Tart. No can do. Burt picks up 3 for the round. And way to go. SAU starting to make the distance with a 2-round advantage.
And one big thing I'm seeing here as well is SAU having a Sage and Skye has a lot of healing on the team. And we see UNI getting a lot of damage as well. Just they're not able to find those kills because of all of the healing that SAU has.
Yeah, you kind of go with the two kind of healers. You got Skye and Sage. And UNI just not able to capitalize on those kill confirms.
And as we saw from the last round UNI won, they're taking a heavy advantage of showers here. And SAU is playing really safe. They know that they're ready for this push. And Burt actually getting a free kill on the Favlet there with just a really bad timing on that wall.
I was going to say, I don't know if he really actually noticed it or if it was an audio cue, but I couldn't see Favlet when the wall came up. But again, Burt getting the kill.
And now SAU looking to stack up to hit this A site. And UNI only having 2 players here.
I know exactly where you are.
And the info coming out from that Cypher ult is going to give them the free push onto A site.
He gets the wall off on A.
SAU ready for that Tejo Molly. They know they're going to have to deal with some of these plants.
Ubi faking the
I've
plant.
got your trail.
30
Pop-Tart trying to
seconds
get
left.
aggressive onto Burt here. He's going to have a free
planted.
kill onto Burt.
Killed.
So UNI in a 4v4 retake.
Gonna try and break down the wall. Pop-Tart does.
Satchel out.
Gonna be a lot of playing in hookah, or excuse me, U-Haul.
We see a lot of UNI rotating over to fight towards that main area. The Wave still being in a very strong spot.
Picking up to a quick succession. Pop-Tart trying to get it done. Can't. DZ picking up 3 on the round. So, like you mentioned earlier, Monty, a
round
lot of
in the half.
assists going on for SAU and just their synergy that they've been playing right now. I think that's what's giving them the edge here right before the half.
Yeah, and last round, that Brimstone ult coming out huge there on that post plant, able to force all of UNI to push them, and just gave DZ some free kills when they were trying to run away from that ult.
What does UNI have to do here to kind of get the last round defense strong?
And so they're definitely losing A, and we do see them finally, they're actually
Spike
fighting
down
A,
A.
because they know that they've been losing it a lot.
And Mr. Sir claps and Fable able to get the early pickup.
And we see the Fade ult coming out. UNI still trying to get even more aggressive here. Easy finding a pick.
Last player standing.
Mr. Sir claps trades him out. Mr. Sir claps finds 3.
This Still gonna be looking for the fourth. But Pop-Tart with a bucket kill from behind takes out Ubi to close the half.
Yeah. That's the one thing that we were missing in
Switching
the
sides.
first half is the flanking Pop-Tart. Glad to see it kind of come up and clutch there.
And now we're going to see UNI taking onto this offense side. As I mentioned, the harder half, but UNI definitely just getting shut down on their defense side.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting to see. Typically, defense is pretty strong here. Of course, bind is a bit difficult on the defensive side for UNI, but they're going to go ahead and get the plant. I am really interested to see how UNI can play aggressive here like they did in map 1.
I'm curious to see where the stage wall is going to be going. It looks like showers, but there's a lot of intriguing walls you can throw to kind of throw off the enemy.
It will be put up in showers.
And DZ actually going to have a lot of space to tuck here as well.
The early kill on Bork. Beefman getting DZ.
Now a 3v5. UNI with the bomb planted. The retake coming in. Ubi and Wave picking up 2 kills.
Last player standing.
Remy able to take out Burt. Favelet taking out Ubi. That is going to be a 1v5 replant or retake.
Now Wave, he's one shot to this Deagle. He knows that he has to be careful about that.
Knows that the wave, knows that the wall goes down.
Favelet able to close out the round. UNI looking strong on these pistol rounds. Only barely lost that pistol on the first half as well. Or did win the pistol barely in the first half.
Yeah, again, UNI coming out strong. And I think their aggressive nature is going to be beneficial to them. I would like to see a B push, personally. Maybe change it up just a little bit. But then again, what they've been doing is working for them. But we do see DZ with the Sage Wall. They might be looking at a short wall.
And UNI has a lot of utility to just flush that Cypher out of the B site. But Pop-Tart getting taken out by DZ on A short. Beefman's going to be running into Wave, and Wave has a shorty. I don't know if Beefman saw him.
I don't know if he did either, and now his location's revealed.
And he is getting flanked as well. He might just run into Wave here. Wave unable to find the kill, but getting traded out by Bork.
Yeah, really interesting set of plays there for Beefman. Spike does get planted on B, and it's going to be a 3v3 retake for SAU.
Oh, and we see Ubi getting outpack site for free, but I don't think UNI knows that DZ is all the way up long. Remy getting taken out, and then Clap's getting a trade.
Still 2v2. Mr. Zerclaps back in that top side hallway.
Mr. Claps getting outside, getting a kill.
Going to be a 1v1. Ubi trying to get the defuse.
Mr. Claps just trying to play the time here. He knows that he's going to have to take the fight.
Tries to get the knife kill, but can Ubi with 3.
That's a really good round coming out from SAU. That was UNI's bonus round, so they're going to have no money to fight onto SAU's buy round here. So we're going to be seeing probably a lot of SMGs and Deagles coming out.
Yeah. And that's pretty interesting to see when you're, 1v1. Typically, it's a 2-0 for either side coming out of a half. So really interesting to see what kind of purchases are going to be made here. And we've got a game, Monty, that we're tied.
And it looks like UNI is going to be throwing Pop-Tart back onto that lurking position, even though he's on Viper now instead of a Sentinel. UNI trying to scale up, actually getting taken out by Ubi from an angle. From triple.
And doesn't get the spike down.
Gets taken out through the wall. Looks like UNI is going to be trying to rotate here, but they will run into Wave. Pop-Tart getting taken out.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, man. Excellent job with Cypher on the B. Tons of information with
Sister Claps finding one with a frenzy spray.
Last player standing.
And Faylet, just a stinger and a dream here. Able to take out one, but unable to find the round as Ubi picks up 4.
A nice clutch play coming out from Ubi. Of course, that Jet, as a duelist, is really strong. And especially with the point that Ubi's been playing, doing so far so well. And again,
This is a nice.
SAU getting the 1-round advantage.
And it's seeming to be a battle of the titans here. Mr. Circlaps and Ubi with a lot of kills this game. We're seeing constantly they're going back and forth between winning rounds, getting 4Ks, or high kill rounds. We do see UNI going for kind of the same setup as they did last round. They're going to be throwing that lurk onto the other site and then getting really aggressive on to another site. UNI not clearing out Link, or not clearing out Cubby here. Mr. Claps is gonna die from behind.
Yeah, the one corner that you don't check, but Bert on a 1v3, Beefman picking up 2.
Beefman, I believe, just found that kill through the smoke. Just completely blind.
Hey, sometimes it pays off just blind firing as 2 members of UNI go down.
Pop-Tart getting taken out on flank. Fable getting a kill on sight. Now 2v1. UNI just needs to play together here.
Yeah, but it's against DZ. That's the tough part.
Fable hearing the drop needs to be ready for this
Last
push.
player standing.
And it's going to come down to a 10 HP Beefman.
Pulling them in.
Beefman knows he can't be on right now, actually. DZ's going to be holding him.
My ultimate is ready. I will not
And he
die.
will have
When
time
you're
for the
down.
defuse as well.
Yeah, and when you're down just 10 health, you got to play a little bit less aggressive there.
is what
What do
I
you think
trained for.
Beefman could have done there to maybe get this
I think
Round
with
one.
he had the right idea there, but I think he needed to slow it down a little bit as he knew with that pull on bomb that he couldn't be sticking. And I think he was just a little bit worried that he might have messed up the star and that he could have pushed or could have just stuck the bomb. But it was really well played from both ends. He just knew he had to try to get aggressive.
SAU now at a 2-round advantage. UNI looking at another A push.
An early Sage wall coming out here from DZ, just trying to hold that space early here. And UNI starting to knife the wall on A short, trying to get a little bit of space here. Remy getting a little bit of info on that drone.
Nice, she gets to pick out the Brimstone.
I will see Fable getting aggressive on the top of the box here. Trying to look for some heads over the top of the boxes.
Yeah, knows no one's in heaven.
Pop-Tart slow walked all the way up into U-All, and I don't think SAU knows about him.
No, and again, a Pop-Tart flank could be huge.
He
UNI
finds
initiating
2!
on A. Looking for 3.
And Bork
Can't
getting
quite
2
get it.
traded, but Fable getting a trade back. Misses their claps getting taken out from CT.
Yeah, Bert doing a nice job clicking heads there. Wave check down to 5 HP. But he's going to go ahead and get healed. It's going to be a 2v2 retake.
And UNI playing a wonderful crossfire here. He's
Last
going to have
player
to try to get
standing.
out. Gets taken out from the heaven angle. On a 1v2
Fable
Fablet.
with the Deagle.
Has to find this kill. He knows that Wave's going to be sticking bomb. Able to find the kill, but unable to get the round. Finds both kills, actually.
Okay, so you get a little bit on the eco win there. Of course, now pushing that deficit to 3. I think the right idea for UNI just couldn't quite execute there as SAU was rotating heaven.
Yeah, UNI kind of was on an eco round there. So getting all of those kills plus bomb plant is going to give them enough to buy this round and hurt the economy of SAU. As we see, only 2 players going light or regen shields, so not too much, but just enough. We're seeing UNI trying to push up to B here, and I actually love this setup from Wave. It's completely for playing off-site, so they're going to try to give UNI site for free.
And that they will do. Mr. Surclaps taking point.
He almost walks right into the
Go
trip.
ahead. Stand.
And a huge tail ult coming in, and a brim ult coming in from the opposing team as well. Remy
Yeah, UNI is
Wave.
going to know that they're going to come from that B hall. Mr. Surclaps was almost ready for him.
Remy able to find one, stuck in a corner, in a really poor spot here.
Yeah, Bork able to pick
Pop-Tart
him up as
on
well.
the flank. He could win this round for UNI.
Gets
Only
one.
finds one and whiffs on the second.
Oh, you need to have more trigger discipline.
Last player standing.
Beefman pulls two, gets two, finds three, but once again, UNI just unable to close out the round.
Yeah, really good play there. Like you mentioned early, Cypher able to go ahead and play off-site, giving UNI B-site for free, and Mr. Surclaps unable to pick up someone on that B-Hall initiation. And I feel like if UNI would have gotten that one pick early on that early initiation, maybe we'd be talking about a different story. Unfortunately not, and SAU up 4.
And that is a really rough round for UNI to lose there. They did get a lot of kills, so SAU is gonna be broke. They only have deals. This could be a free round for UNI.
Hopefully.
As long as they play together and try not to get picked off early, UNI will be taking this round.
Find it. Welcome to
Ruby.
It's taken out on first blood there.
Spike
Bork able to
down
take out
A.
Pop-Tart on the plant.
Concealment.
Beefman finding two alone in showers here. The Ashrawal up for UNI, still able to hold.
Able to get the plant down, so that's good. Favorite to go back around.
And UNI not quite getting that kill on flank. The Fablet knowing he's gonna have to fight the Cypher.
Last player standing.
And Wave getting that kill, and Ubi finding Beefman in showers, finding that round for SAU.
Oh man, and SAU really getting it together here. Now going into match point. I
Match
believe.
point.
Yeah, I think UNI almost like, as we said before, we love that they're getting aggressive, but it was almost a little too much there. Mr. Surclaps trying to get aggressive on the back side angles, but just he's alone, so he's not able to find anything there.
Not only that, but you mentioned earlier just the deagles that SAU was
here.
using, and they get all the kills, really hindering the economy play for UNI.
UNI looking for an interesting 5-man B push. But Wave and Burt are going to be doubling up on long. And the rest of SAU has a lot of info on A. They know that they can't be up showers or short yet. And Wave finding one.
Almost found two with Favorite there.
He's actually going to be staying in the corner. He doesn't get hit by the stun.
And will Favorite realize this?
I think UNI might be ready for himself. And being able to hit the shot.
And come away scot-free too. No target damage.
We saw Pop-Tart actually picked one up on A while we were talking as well. And now we're seeing a full rotate coming up from UNI.
Using that TP, and it's going to be interesting to see how Devious is going to be on this flank.
And then Molly coming out, able to hold off the push from showers for now. And Beefman making a lot of noise here. I think DZ might be ready for him.
We'll see, because he's going to
30
be focused
seconds
there on the plant.
Actually, Beefman able to find the kill in the back.
Yeah, a really nice
Last player
play there.
standing.
As Bert's going to be taken out as at Heaven. Beefman already with 3. Favorite getting the plant.
And Remy trying to take the fight on the Bork here. Gets taken out.
Last player standing.
Now
Going
Beefman
to be a
1v1.
1v1. Comes down to Beefman.
And Beefman
Gets it done.
holding out the round with 4 huge kills there. Able to play that perfectly. Able to find all of those kills. Just trying to play off of his team well.
I got money.
So we stem the
Anyone
tide
need something?
here. Really nice kind of flank play there at the end.
1 second,
And
peeps.
UNI
gotta
now
visit the
staring
Astral
at
to
a
play
4-round
some stars.
deficit. They're going to have to maybe try and push this into overtime. it's a steep order, Monty.
And I know I mentioned before about the Battle of the Titans, but it's not looking like either Missus or Collapse or Ubi have had a lot of impact in the last, like, 5 rounds or so. It's been a complete turnaround from the rest of the team on both ends.
Of course, Bork and Beefman coming in clutch here in the later rounds.
UNI taking the Sage Wall in the face, trying to get through it here, actually. We see the drone coming out from Teho once again. And Pop-Tart, he should not be able to get up on this push here. Because we see Wave has a cam perfectly for backside. Also, Burt in a huge spot here as well has full info that nothing can be in hookah yet.
Toxins going up.
Pop-Tart gonna get aggressive. The cam doesn't actually tag him, but will he be ready for the judge in hookah or U-Haul here? He's not waving able to pick off the first kill.
And he's going to go ahead and get that assault rifle ready.
Easy finds 2, finds 3!
Spike down.
Easy getting it done. Oh my goodness. And it's going to come down to Beefman all alone.
1v5
Go
with
ahead
20
and get
seconds.
the res too.
Easy finds 4 to close out the game. Huge kills on that angle.
Yeah, really good clutch play there from both sides. But of course, DZ able to get it done. And we, as of course, would caster curse, we are going to go to Haven.
And we are seeing here, this is a turnaround from last game. UNI not able to pick up as many first bloods. Definitely just a lot on the hands of, especially DZ and Burt, able to find those picks early on the defensive half.
Yeah, looking at the first bloods here. UNI in the first game, 11-3 on the first bloods. This time, UNI only getting 8 first bloods to SAU's 13. So definitely the most interesting stat, I feel, between this series so far.
Yeah, I guess one very close game there coming out for UNI. Kind of they were able to get a lot of close rounds, just unable to close them out. But it'll be interesting seeing, going to this last map here, is neither team's pick, just because of both teams will ban, and then it's I believe UNI ends up picking between the 2 maps that are left for the third map here.
So do you think we'll see like that Haven then, or what do you think's gonna be the best other than Lotus that we've already played? What is going to be the best map for UNI here to kind of clutch it out?
I do think Haven is going to be UNI's next best map here. I feel like Haven all around is a pretty good map for everyone. No one really is bad on it, but it's a map where Pop-Tart can get a lot of damage off those heavy lurks.
Yeah, kind of looking back at the regular season, UNI so far 100% win rate on Ascent, Abyss, and technically Bind. We were 2 for 2 on Bind last year. Now we're 0 for 1, so really difficult to see that. But as long as we don't pick Pearl, I think is going to be preferred.
Pearl is just a map I believe that UNI hasn't had much time to practice at all. They don't really have a good setup composition for it, and it's just kind of a harder map for UNI to play based off their play style, because most of that map is just slow walking mid the entire game until you can get a kill. It is one of the most boring maps in the game because it's just that and ops on beat long the entire game. But at least in maps like Haven or maps like Ascent, not really Ascent, maps like Haven, you're going to see a lot of different team comps coming out. We will likely see a Sova Tejo Jet Omen for UNI.
Yeah, that would be a nice composition, of course, kind of get it back to kind of like the basics. I don't know if, of course, we'll see the Jet, but I don't know about Claps going on, continuing to do phase, and because I know they've played double duelist before, and it's kind of worked out for them. I almost don't expect that here, though, in Haven.
Mostly, especially with Haven, it's just a map where there's a lot of different things that work well. Just like, normally we'll see the a Breach Sova coming out, just because there's a lot of long, narrow paths for Breach Stun to just demolish teams. But with Tejo being thrown into the game, he's able to completely block off like some spots on site. So it's going to make hitting sites a lot easier.
Yeah, and as we kind of have a moment here, I do want to say, if you want to support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and click the link to our Guardian Pro line merchandise collection, where we have a fully customizable jersey, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, polos, you name it. We are selling it. So if you can, go ahead and support UNI Panther Esports. Valentine's Day is coming up, so why don't you go ahead and get something for that gamer in your life and pick up some merch. So what did you like last round, Monty, or last map from SAU?
I liked how just aggressive SAU was getting. They were trying to just completely cut off UNI from... We were seeing that Lurk getting shut down on Pop-Tart a lot that game, actually. They were playing really passive on defense. They were able to play calm and hold their sites. UNI was able to take over a lot of those sites, actually, try get it with their aggressive pushes. But they played really well on their retakes and were able to lock down some of the rounds.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. The other thing that I noticed that between Bind and Lotus is that we didn't really see much of a Pop-Tart flank, and I think that's just more of how the map is designed for Bind, that we wouldn't see that flank come out, but we also didn't see middle utilization either a lot come from UNI. Of course, they did have a couple plays in U-Haul that benefited them, but I just feel like UNI was kind of wandering around the map aimlessly. Like, they had a play, it would kind of work, and then they wouldn't have a reaction. And I feel like that kind of where things started to get separated. Of course, you know, Haven, you'll have more opportunity to flank, and you have a lot more versatility to kind of use that Jet Omen that works so well with this team.
One problem I did notice about Bind there was UNI really just... I feel like they could have abused the B hit a lot. They had so much utility to just completely cover sight. And if you use the Raisnade for Cubby, I think you can Tejo Molly the majority of back sight. And that alone is just going to be so hard to defend against, because you're going to have to play off sight every single round.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that I believe might be the Achilles heel to SAU here is maybe that initial aggression on the first pick, because we saw that a lot on Lotus and kind of led to that 13-2 win, is that you're getting the first pick and you're just basically disassembling the plan that SAU has. So if you go ahead and get that early pick, of course, first picks are always good, but if you are able to kind of get a lot of information early, and UNI is able to take that extra time to digest that plan and react a lot better, not necessarily faster, but better, I believe that if they are going to utilize that a shower or a long, like, initial peaks, I feel like that might be one of the win conditions here, Monty. And kind of looking at the site here, it would be interesting too to see that B plant on site, because we've seen that be utilized too to some degree for UNI, and it's always interesting to see how that B site plant kind of plays into the strategies between these two teams, because it's almost unexpected to see a B site plant, but both of these teams have successfully done that on Lotus, and we might see that here.
I am a big fan of seeing early B pushes as like just heavy B pushes on first round of like pistol round. I like to call that a lot in like comp games and ranked, just because it makes the game play out a little faster and it's just so much more fun.
Right, kind of looking at these initial picks, you were right to see that Sova Jet, but we're not really seeing that Omen that you kind of see, but we do see flashes of the Teo. What do you think Beefman's gonna pick here?
Beefman going Omen. I think we are just gonna see exactly what UNI played last time. They're gonna be substituting that Breach in for Tejo instead this time. So seeing the Breach coming back, just because he's so strong on Haven, it was as good as Tejo is. I feel like Breach is such a good character for this map to not have.
And looking over at SAU, they're going to go back with the double heals there with the Sky and the Sage, Flash in the Jet, Flash in the Cypher. We're almost going to see a mirror matchup other than that Sky pick. So interesting to see how that's going to be playing out.
Yeah, and once again, we're seeing a double Sentinel comp coming out. One, like, very common, more common now, but seeing, like, a Sage Cypher is a little bit different from last season, where we just saw a lot of double Initiator gameplay.
Yeah, which does kind of benefit to some degree, maybe pace of play. But when you're looking at a map like Heaven, and like you said, Monty, just the versatility that you can use with compositions here, it is going to be interesting to see how they kind of play that out. But, you know, then again, with the Cypher, you're able to kind of lock down C-side alone, and, you know, you're given that extra man, maybe a B flank there on
This
Courtyard.
is a nice spot.
Yeah, and especially with the Sage Wall as well, it's going to be really hard for UNI to do a lot of things. One thing we'll probably see on Pistol Round here is taking either A or C. For SAU here is going to be good, because they have that Sage Wall to block off one of the two entries to site, and UNI will either have to take the time to break the wall, or just completely funnel through one spot.
Already flashing an initial B push there.
You know, we're seeing a lot of space being taken pretty much everywhere here. And UNI getting that early info up mid, getting a scan on DZ. Looks like SAU is trying to find one peeking, but UNI is going to have 3 people stacked towards the B site.
Going to be how this initiates, as the Brimstone util is going to be flashed.
And SAU looks like they're just going to be leaving now, as we see Born kind of trying to take that space slowly up A here.
Yeah, definitely a bad taste in the mouth for SAU.
UNI still looks like they're kind of worried about this B hit, so I think SAU is going to have a free plant on the A site here, unless Pop-Tart has something to say about it.
Yeah, they're going to all stack up on that sewer site. Orc going to get some shadows out, taking out the Heaven
My eyes are
Vision.
down.
Pop-Tart waiting, trying to get a kill off of this tripwire that no one's walked into here.
And already SAU taking out 2 members of UNI.
Pop-Tart unable to find one off the trip. Does get taken out from long.
And a strong pistol round so far for SAU. It's going to force a 2v5 retake for UNI.
And UNI, like I said, is going to have to funnel out here. And
Last
now in a
player standing.
1v5 for UNI.
And a flawless round out the gate, tied in the series. SAU getting things together early.
SAU's pressure right there on mid was just phenomenal. They were able to make UNI worry about that space being taken back again. And they had 3 people stacking towards B side. So Pop-Tart was left alone all the way up A.
Yeah, I have to agree that B site fake. It would maybe that was their plan all along, and now they're gonna stack up C long.
And UNI getting really aggressive down mid here and actually rotating Pop-Tart over to C side. And DZ walking up knows there's a trip here. Now getting ready to hit the site.
They're gonna push in.
Stuck in a really interesting spot here. Gonna be trying to play off of these tripwires still, which are both down now, I believe.
Yeah, still you got that camera. Nice little quick vision. Wave though, getting the kill.
Misses her claps, finding one on the flank here. And with him is Fablet trying to get a kill as well.
Gonna be a 4v4 retake.
Misses her claps, finds another one on 4 HP.
Unfortunately, Bork with the Bulldog picking up 2.
And does get a kill here. He's going to be looking for another onto the sky.
Last player standing.
Unable to find it, and then Remy's just going to be holding Cypher onto site, making sure he has to die to the bomb. And it looks like both
he
players,
actually does.
both players will be getting out with a Phantom and a Guardian, 2 really strong weapons to take into their eco round.
Yeah, so UNI gonna have to force to buy here. What do you think they need to do on defense? Because usually defense is pretty good for them.
I think UNI is getting, just having their Cypher getting shut down twice in a row now is kind of a little draining. Because it means that they're going to have to play 2 people on the Cypher site, which kind of hurts on this type of a map. At that point, I would end up just kind of trying to have the Cypher play towards a B and a garage angle instead, just to try to get info. Mr. Sir Claps, aware of the TP cross, is might even try to get aggressive here.
Here.
He even pings it. He knows he's stuck. Thiefman getting first blood, taking out DZ. Has a TP to get out as well.
Oh, he'll get the cover, TP out and around. Maybe catch Ubi and Burt. Mr. Circlaps, though, taking out Born.
Looks like SAU is going to be rotating over to A side, trying to find Mr. Claps on that long peak. In the meantime, we did see Pop-Tart pick one up in garage as well.
Interesting the ping come out for SAU on that A long, so they might be rotating out and around pushing B.
And we're going to be seeing Remy playing off that contact of Fablet here and going to be holding that stun ready. Fablet actually gets off the angle at the worst time he could.
30 seconds left.
Swings back in and gets...
Enemy remaining. Spike
Yeah, Remy
down.
able to pick up 1. Fablet does get traded out.
Remy gets taken out by Burt, but Pop-Tart getting the trade to close out the round.
All right, so UNI able to come back, shorten the deficit now down to 1. Kind of a little clinch there on the B site, just with the timing of things, but UNI able to go ahead and get it done on their purchase round.
And UNI getting aggressive there. They were able to get those first 2 kills very quickly, and then picking up a third on double doors after, on the lurker up mid. It's exactly how they need to play this map on their defense, because they know that SAU is just going to keep trying to get aggressive up that mid angle.
Revealing area.
We'll see Fablet getting that early info up A. Actually, I think he forgot to put a third or second bounce on his dart.
Bird already taking out Claps, and DZ taking out Fablet.
Now, it looks like a free A site here. And Pop-Tart actually gets the kill on Wave.
What a play for Pop-Tart, taking out
Spike
Cypher.
planted.
So you won't get any of that information. However, A site was free.
And Remy will be rotating over to grab that gun on bottom mid. And UNI once again stuck in a rough spot with this Sage Wall. Pop-Tart getting ready to swing. Clears the corner, but gets taken out from Bird on site.
Defense getting ready there. Tries to take out DZ. Doesn't get any
Last
hit
player
markers.
standing.
And UNI getting 2 players taken out in the first 10 seconds of the round. Just giving all of A-Site for free.
Yeah, I would have to admit that I think the stat coming away from this split series, it's going to be whoever has the most first bloods, I believe, is going to take it. Because otherwise, that mid play is pretty well evenly matched. And both teams able to get successful retakes, clean initiations. I feel like it's just going to come down to who is going to execute their plan first. And so far, it's been SAU.
And I think we're going to be seeing a garage push here. Pop-Tart might actually get caught off on this angle. Almost gets a shot at that. Door's not armored. I think he actually hits the head there. We're going to see 4 people walking up B once again. Let's see if DZ's going to be ready to clear Beat Man off that angle.
As up on the box is going to get the smoke out on that entrance, and he is going to go towards the center box.
And Beefman has played up here before. It gets a little bit of damage onto DZ, but that will be slightly negated by the heals once again.
We'll see if he does take the heals, though. Yes, he will.
And we see UNI knows that a B push has to be imminent. They have someone all the way up C and 2 people all the way up A site.
I've got your trail.
So UNI looking to probably play a retake here on B.
That beat man. Down to 8 in the mag. Can't get the kill. Burt takes him out.
We do see UNI taking up the space here finally on
30
flank.
seconds left.
But will Wave get cleared by Pop-Tart? Which Cypher will come out on top here. Wave gets one. Time to take the fight on to Favourite as well. Raging Remy looking to get a free kill there on the Wave.
Yeah, able to get it done. Ubi taking out Favourite, so it's going to be a 2v4 retake as the smoke settles.
It looks like we're going to be seeing a save coming out from here from UNI because they do have an off on Mr. Collapse. And Remy's looking to maybe just try to get a couple exit kills.
I don't know if they'll get out in time for that bomb going off. Yes, they will.
And actually, we're going to see SAU trying to hunt down Mr. Collapse. They're trying to find this op and get it out of his hands.
Yeah, that's going to have to play into the back of their minds as SAU now increasing their advantage to 3 rounds.
UNI does not have a lot of money, but it looks like they're probably going to be buying up here with that op that they still have. If Mr. Sir Collapse is able to clinch out a first blood, or even maybe even 2, it could be a very easy round for UNI.
And do you like the op being played down that A long side?
It's one of the strongest angles on the map. You can play the op pretty much anywhere, but it will be completely closing off an angle for SAU to push. I think Fable just made a step, so Wave's gonna know that he's close. And SAU gonna be rotating over, and they're gonna be rotating into the op. Mr. Collapse might be good for one here, but he doesn't know about the cross. Does get
Mr. Sir Collapse, though, getting it done.
able to find that kill on DZ. And they're going to be holding him. He might re-swing into 2 people here. Doesn't find the angle.
Favourite, though, with the stinger. Mr. Sir Collapse finds 2.
Favourite could be good for another kill here on Ubi close. Mr. Collapse finding 3 and Ubi getting fully stunned.
Nice flawless round coming out from UNI, realizing that Mr. Sir Collapse communicating that they're all down A, rotating around, and a really nice comeback round for UNI.
With that 2-man push-up A, UNI was able to completely hold that space, and once, I believe, Pop-Tart got all the way up flank, they knew that it could just sandwich all the way up into A market. And it was just such a hard round for SAU to try to come back from, since they just had so much commitment to that A side. Mr. Crops doesn't get the kill, actually. Trying to go for a couple wallbang shots here.
Maybe catches DZ out.
Able to find one still, even though he's on the angle for that long.
Yeah, and with that center mass shot too, I was kind of worried about maybe getting that kill confirmed on the one shot. Able to get it down.
We'll see Ubi all the way up short, alone, taken out by Favelet. That way, 3v2 on site.
Mr. Circlaps with the op, gonna switch to the classic. Trying to get a couple kills.
Doesn't do him justice. But as we see, Pop-Tart up on flank here.
Spike planted.
And that's exactly what we want to see.
You will
Pop-Tart
not
on the
kill
flank,
my
take
ally.
away those angles. DZ gets Ubi on the res.
Pop-Tart picks up 2. He knows one's close to graffiti.
Gets taken out by Wave.
Last player standing.
And DZ able to clutch out the round.
Oh no, and did SAU able to pick up the op there by Mr. Circlaps?
It looks like they were probably able to, but they didn't choose to take it. We will see Mr. Circlaps pulling out the op again, though.
Yeah, what do you think SAU did there at the end to kind of clutch out that round?
I think just getting that initial pick on site, taking it down to a 3v4, and then Pop-Tart kind of rushing on the flank. If he was able to just take his time after both those kills, they could have, UNI could have just closed out that round. But SAU just got really aggressive and were able to hit those shots. We're seeing a little bit of a C split coming out here. Pop-Tart looks to be aware. He's going to be swinging. Doesn't know one's close, though.
Tries to get a couple 10 kills. Pop-Tart does get tagged.
And Ubi taking a little bit of damage here. But UNI up numbers with that pick from Beefman on the long.
Interesting to see the SAU Omen there on C long, kind of holding that angle.
And the Omen ult coming
My
through.
camera is
Pop-Tart
destroyed.
might actually catch one off. DZ holding the angle still.
Yeah, really nice play there by DZ.
Beefman in a really good spot. No one is out sight, but he does not know that.
Favelet able to pick up Ubi with this Sova ult.
Here.
And Wave gets a free kill on flank.
30 seconds left.
DZ's gonna fake the plant on C site. Favelet getting a headshot on DZ. The spike's down.
Last player
UNI
standing.
knows there's one flank still.
Enemy
Fable pick up
remaining.
3. On a 1v1.
Looking for Bork.
He's 1 HP. He knows where he's at.
Found
He has the read, but doesn't pick up the kill.
Unfortunate set of circumstances for UNI there. And Bork unable to get the plant, so you don't get the extra cash there. And I wish UNI had that back.
UNI almost clinching out that round. That was very close. If Favelet doesn't pick up those 3 kills, it's basically a lost round there for UNI. Which it was, but it would have been a lot less damage done. Because we see Ubi not actually having enough to buy. He's probably just going to pop his jet knives. And Mr. Circlaps getting aggressive with the Marshall here.
So what's the benefit of taking that early shot, as Favelet will go ahead and take out Wave?
Now UNI having the number advantage once again. See if they are able to close out this eco round.
Do like seeing Favelet and Pop-Tart getting aggressive.
Huge spot here. Pop-Tart could go huge. Finds one. Unable to find the second.
Burt does trade him out. Favelet laying down the suppressive fire with the Guardian, gets blinded.
And Favelet's still able to find one.
And he's going to run out with 3 HP.
Almost finding another. Lot of damage done here, though, to Bork.
Does allow UNI to set up for that CK.
UNI having 2 marshals on this angle. And Remy pushing up flank, knowing that they have to still be C long.
Yeah, it's going to have to come down to UNI either getting the kills here or getting it just enough so Remy is ready.
Picking up 1. And now Ubi 1 HP. Beefman able to find both.
Yeah, nice job there. Able to kind of clutch it out. I was getting kind of nervous there because Remy was kind of just holding the off angle. He wasn't really going for the flank, which I thought was going to be the saving grace. But then again, when you got two marshals holding down C long, you're able to get a lot of damage off at a distance.
Yeah, and we see Faylet opening up the round there for UNI, getting that pick on mid, and then able to help Pop-Tart hold down the fort on C long there, and actually picks up another kill as well. We're going to see UNI throwing in a tech pause here. We might have had a crash or something. It doesn't look like it, but... Oh.
Someone crash?
I don't think so, because... I'm not sure. I actually don't know, because everyone still has ping, so it looks like everyone's in the game. It could be Faylet. I don't think he's moved in a while.
Maybe it's possibly internet connection, maybe buffering, sticky keyboard.
Now, having to call a tech for somebody spilling water in their keyboard or something would be great.
Is that kind of like flopping, you think?
It could be kind of, you know, just throw your arm a little bit too hard to the left and completely ruin your keyboard just to get a extra timeout.
I mean, depending on the type of keyboard you have, that could be a $25 investment. For a tech pause.
I personally gave Mr. Sir Claps my old keyboard, which even that was a N Pro 2, which I don't know how much those go for nowadays, but when they came out, they were a little over $100. I don't think that would be worth for a tech pause, but hey. DZ knows Beefman's here. He's taking that sweet and precious time reloading his Odin.
Yeah, which I do like to see the Odins here.
Pop-Tart
Pop-Tart off screen.
Remy finding the kill
as well.
Pop-Tart opening up this round, getting that first pick, and then Remy and Beefman tag teaming.
Where is everyone hiding?
Here.
Beefman getting aggressive with this Odin, trying to get some wallbang kills.
30 seconds left.
Oh.
Gets
Maybe
a
he'll get
lot
that
of
kill.
damage on the wave. Wave finding the kill and Ubi finding one on B.
That's still going to force a 3v3. And unfortunately, going to get the heals from the sky.
But look at this. We have Pop-Tart holding wave. Pop-Tart doesn't find the kill yet.
10 seconds left.
Wave might be getting out of there.
Spike planted.
UNI gets a free flank.
Eyes down.
So Sir Clap's able to get it done. Dashes around Ubi, knows he's there.
Some shock guard damage coming out.
remaining.
My ult is ready. Revealing area.
And they're just favoriting
Last
Sir
player
Claps.
standing.
Bert in a
Gonna be a
1v1.
1v1. And with that dart, you are able to get the information. And the Sova Favelet coming in clutch.
And that was a huge flank coming out there. I believe SAU was just slightly out of the range to hear them jump over that trip. And this is their class getting that free kill from flank, saving Pop-Tart, and then getting the info on Jet on Cubby. Just winning them the round.
So what does UNI have to do here to kind of close the distance to maybe get it tied at the half?
We're going to need to see this op getting a little bit of damage here. We know Mr. Claps is trying to do that
Get out of
earlier
my
in the game,
way.
and he might be able to find it here. And he's actually pre-aiming a common updraft angle from other Jet players. And he's rotating off to Heaven to try to reposition, get another angle.
Yeah.
I've got your
He's
trail.
able to get the leg damage, but he gets traded out by DZ.
Unfortunate, but you do get that op still situated in heaven.
UNI has 3 ults, popping this ult early, getting some damage from Favelet.
Spike planted.
And they need to get those kill confirms if you got that Sky and Sage. Otherwise, it doesn't matter.
Again, Raging Ren having the breach ult here. And Pop Tart getting taken out on flank. This is looking like a hard round to recover from for UNI.
Blinding.
Raging Remy is going to be in heaven. Tries to use that Brimstone utility.
A huge blind coming out there from the breach. Falik getting a lot of control in sight.
Last player
He does
standing.
get the trade out, but Beefman with the Odin, little for naught. And SAU
Last round
going
before
ahead
the switch.
and getting another round before the half.
We could see another 5-7 half coming out here for SAU and UNI.
Would be interesting to see. Of course, history might repeat itself. I would also be curious to see what the First Bloods would look like at this stage, because I would want to think that it is heavier, more favored for SAU.
I think UNI has had the numbers advantage on a lot of rounds. They're just unable to like close out their rounds. Because I know quite a few times UNI has gotten picks out mid or from B, and then they get a 4-man site take on like C or A and are unable to hold it. So see, Beefman gets one but
You
gets
will
traded
not
out.
kill my allies.
Oh, DZ gets the res though on Burt.
There's a huge stun coming out from Remy as well. I do see Pop Tart in a really dangerous spot here. Might try to get aggressive. Both teams just holding
I
angles
know
here.
exactly where you are.
Remy still holding this breach ult. Last round of the half is gonna use it here.
Yeah.
Pop Tart getting cleared out. Now Remy in a 1v5.
Yeah, and you got
planted.
the Sage wall cut off from your main entrance, so you're going to have to rotate around potentially. Does get the break, gets blinded.
Going to be eating all of the util in the world and likely a 2 or 3 man switch. And now
Unfortunate.
DZ closing out the 4-8 half. UNI
Switching
down
sides.
4 rounds here.
Not quite the history that we wanted repeated, and SAU going to take it to an 8-4 half. Switching sides, what does UNI have to come back from this 4-round deficit, Monty?
UNI needs to take their aggression and try to fast push these sites, because the problem with a double sentinel comp is that you're not, if UNI is able to take the site that the sentinel's on, it is going to be completely free. Because as we're seeing here, we're going to be seeing Cypher and Sage setting up towards the C side, and then a 3-man stack on A. So UNI having 4 people on a C push with not a single SAU player on C. I think they heard the Sage wall go at mid, so they should know that DZ has to be somewhere towards garage.
And Mr. Swordclap's getting aggressive, going to clean out all the angles and know that the only way of attack is going to be that C-Link.
A weird smoke coming out CT there. Wave's able to get a kill and get out. Another reason that heals are huge on pistol round. Pop Tart finds one mid to get traded out.
Wave gets tagged, able to take out Claps.
Now all on the back of Remy and Beefman.
Last player standing.
And as we
And
saw
both of
once
them get
again,
taken out.
a lot of damage for UNI, just not able to pick up those kills.
Yeah, and it's really tough too when you have the Sage, you have the Sky, so when you get those engagements, and maybe you might win an engagement, but you have the heals that you have to worry about, so, you know, yelling out 120 or 55 might not be as beneficial here, and so far it's been costing you and I around.
And we've seen that throughout this game and a lot of last game as well. UNI, they're able to, like, do a lot of damage, get a lot of space taken.
Yes,
but just because those heals are coming out, UNI is not able to win those fights that second time. We will see a light buy coming out for UNI, not trying to force it up, even though being down 4-9. And DZ kind of has some weird angles on his wall here. Might fight for a pick.
And UNI's going to commit to that B site.
Very interesting round here. UNI setting up for a B hit. There's 4 people getting ready for a retake on B from SAU already. Mr. Claps able to get into sight. Going to be getting Skydogged. He might actually find a kill here. It's getting held by 3 people though. And Borg kills.
One
He's
enemy
hit
remaining.
3. DZ peeks up Beefman. Burt, Pop-Tart.
That right there is the round I would put on a billboard for why you should buy the Spectre. We see Bork run and gunning, killing 3 people, and 2 of them threw a smoke that he didn't even know were there.
Yeah, also to note, 2 times in a row, 3 members of SAU in the red health. And UNI just can't get the kills. And those numbers advantage just playing so much in favor of SAU.
Yeah, SAU now, though, they are stuck with, as we saw last one, 4 Spectres, and UNI is going to have 5 rifles. So this is a very winnable round for UNI. They're going to have to abuse the fact that they have these better guns on C.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they can do that. SAU did come back with a Deagle versus Rifles round. We've seen this series.
Fablet getting a random kill through the smoke.
Okay, we'll take those.
And SAU setting up for the 4-man retake.
Spike planted.
UNI has a really strong hold here. They have 3 people on this angle as long as one is able to hold their garage. And Beefman getting taken out early though.
Mr. Sirclaps was almost ready.
Beautiful kills from Remy, getting one full blind as well.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, he's gonna have to switch to the classic on the reload. Can't quite get the kill confirmed. Pop-Tart picking up 2 though.
Pop-Tart and Remy able to play that round beautifully. Remy getting that flash. Lastly there for Pop-Tart to get a free swing and a kill.
All right, shortens the deficit now down to 5. And SAU trying to get 3 straight up and get the reverse sweep.
We're seeing DZ, a lot of SAU just looking really strong this game. DZ once again coming out strong, 14-7. He was strong last game on that Sage pick as well. Looks like UNI is going to be trying to go back to the C. I think they've realized kind of what SAU's plan is to try to play a little safer.
And already SAU is going to maybe rotate through B.
And we see, I don't think DZ is actually getting any noise here. So we're going to see Bork in a maybe 1v5 site hold. Pop-Tart making his way all the way up short. But Ubi and Bork finds the gun, finds the kill. And then Mr. Cyclops finds one, but Bork gets the trade out.
Yeah, it's going to force a 3v3. Finally rotates all come from A. Favelet will go ahead, or excuse me, Remy will get the plant.
I don't know if UNI knows about DZ here, though. Remy saw him! And DZ trying to take this 1v1 fight, but Favelet, wait, DZ's ready for this.
Oh, he does get tagged. He's at 35 health, though. Headshot!
Favelet able to pick up the kill. Favelet does have ult, though, for post-plant. A lot of damage going on to Burt there.
One enemy remaining.
Remy picking up a huge kill.
Last player standing.
And Favelet knows he has to stick half, but he's probably going to swing here. And Burt should be getting the free defuse there.
Clutch.
Yes, he does.
Don't even try me.
That's
And
one of
we did see... Oh, go ahead.
That's one of those scenarios where you have to run up to be able to cover that space, but you know that there's a chance they can full stick the bomb. So just being stuck in that hard of a 1v1 right there is a really unfortunate scenario.
Well, and we also saw that he kind of popped the ultimate too, and just didn't quite get the angle on where he wanted that ultimate to go. So if he would have maybe gotten a lucky shot off, again, you're not getting the full stick, and you get the kill confirmed. So just an unfortunate set of circumstances for UNI.
And we're seeing UNI now taking a hard push here, kind of towards the A site. Now, Fablet's probably going to get taken out by a judge here. Has to reload.
Standing ahead.
And just waving in such a good spot here with that judge.
Yeah,
I don't-
holding that courtyard.
I don't actually know if they know Mr. Sir Collapse is crossed. I think they know he could be here. But we see the Sage walking out on B a little early here. And Pop-Tart walking up C, trying to take some space. And Mr. Sir Collapse, patient as can be here, waiting for one to push him. I don't know if he'll be ready for Bork up top. He's not going to clear him. Bork gets a free kill. But Pop-Tart gets one over on C.
One hiding.
You'll go ahead and get the Cypher pick up.
30 seconds left.
Pop-Tart was ready for Ubi, but gets traded out.
And Fablet getting that kill as well onto Bird.
Take
It's going to
flight.
force a 2v3 retake for SAU.
I'm a big fan of this play from Bork. It's going to make one person watch towards the flank on C long. So it'll be a 2v2 on site now. Remy unable to find the kill, but does get a little bit of damage.
Fablet has
Last
to rotate
player
out and
standing.
around.
Fablet now in a 1v2. Needs to hit the shot. Unable to find it. Bork picking up 3 while Wave defuses for free.
I think SAU's been doing a good job with these retakes here,
Match
and
point.
I see what you mean, Monty, about UNI just not closing out rounds, and now down 7. It's coming down to this.
Yeah, like you said, I mentioned this. They have so many rounds where they're up the numbers, but they're just not playing it well. Just UNI, Remy dying back site, not getting traded out there is just detrimental to UNI. We're gonna see a lot of space being taken from UNI. That's one good thing they've been doing this game, is taking lots of space and trying to take that early as possible. But DZ getting first blood here. Now and Pop-Tart getting one back. 4v4 for UNI.
Burt, though, taking out Pop-Tart.
We will see Deep-Man getting in sight and getting a kill through the smoke onto Burt.
He'll maybe get a plant down.
Spike planted.
And we see DZ flanking once again. He's been doing this all game, just like Pop-Tart normally does. But is UNI ready for it? Fablet will be able to get the pick.
It's going to be a 2v3 retake. Beefman getting on top of boxes, picks out Born.
It looks like Ubi might be going for a savior if he can.
Shadows traveling.
I don't know. He's getting aggressive.
It's going to be a really difficult round for him to win. If he's able to pull this out, that could be just absolutely insane.
That would be a staple moment if he can get it. Suppressive fire coming down, and maybe he's just baiting out the triple kill.
I think he's just trying to get a little bit of frags on the edges here. Able to find one, but Beefman getting up his 3rd kill that round.
All right, so UNI stemming the tide. Match round goes for another round. UNI down 6. And maybe there's a moral victory in this, Monty.
We could see UNI pull this back. I'm actually not sure how, but UNI has managed to break the eco of SAU. They have 5 deagles here, and UNI is going to have 5 rifles. We've seen them lose rounds to deagles before, but see if they're able to pick this one up.
They got to play aggressive, and it looks like that might be what they're doing.
One down.
Getting that kill onto DZ, having to dodge that stun. This is our
Pass through, get
Pop-Tart getting that lurk.
a nice initial engagement coming out from
Spike
UNI.
planted.
Mr. Circlaps taking out Bonk. Spike is planted.
Wait, I think Bird's ready for
Enemy
him.
remaining.
Pop-Tart hits the shot though.
Kate.
No, Ubi in a 1v5 with a deagle and a dream. And I think just with how we see Mr. Sir Claps and Favourite playing, it's going to be a near impossible round.
Well, never say never. But a flawless victory coming out from UNI, so 3 straight for UNI. We're pushing the match point back again.
That's a round UNI needed. That was the round kind of to boost the mental back up. They were able to win that round, even though they've been thrifty previously. And now they have 4 ults on the board. They're going to be able to use these maybe to... If they're able to win this round, I think SAU is broke again.
I also have to be mindful of DZ's res, so first bloods won't really matter.
See, Beefman full sticking this TP up heaven actually. And he gets timing, but he finds the kill on the wave.
He's up in heaven now.
He will be fighting for his life here. Some more kills coming out sight. Bork having a wonderful angle on the smoke, finds 3.
Player standing.
And now a 2v2 for UNI. They do have a breach all in hand.
Spike planted.
Beefman
Last
finds
player
another.
Standing.
He just needs to play back though.
Last player standing.
You still get that information, and Remy's ready for it.
Now Remy in the 1v1 save his team from the round here. Gives the info, but loses the 1v1 to DZ.
Oh no, with the teabag to finish it out. The shooting. Tisk, tisk.
And
Do better, DZ.
Beefman just needing to play that 2v1 there. Just
Defenders win.
UNI goes 7-13 on Haven. Actually, just about exactly what happened on Bind.
Yeah, unfortunate there, as you know, UNI does get reverse sweep, which going out in that Lotus match 13-2, this is not the UNI team that I thought we would see here. But yeah, just unfortunate set of circumstances UNI finds themselves in late.
And we do see somehow Favourite being on top of the lobby, even though not having nearly as many kills. So he must have had a lot of damage that game.
Yeah, and again, like you kind of said, with the 2 Sentinels, we're looking at the Sage, we're looking at the Sky. The healing is another important factor here late.
Yeah, 218 damage per round. He was averaging more than 1 kill per round in damage. And we just see that coming out between that Sky and Sage. And it was probably very similar in the previous game as well. If we look at Mrs. or Collapse, probably here as well, if I can. Oh, if it'll let me. Oh, not that one. Yeah, we see 170 on the game before as well. Just a lot of damage, but just no kills able to come out ever.
Yeah, and you know, UNI did have kind of a hope there towards the end. They were getting those confirmed kills, but again, you know, Bork, Burt, DZ, Obi, Wave playing really well together. And I think you mentioned that earlier when we were playing Bind, the amount of assists that this team has. I wouldn't be surprised if this synergy takes the length.
Yeah, just all those assists show how well they were playing as a team and how together they were. It showed like a lot more connection than UNI's team showed tonight.
And the interesting stat here, you know, I thought it was going to come down to first bloods. When it finally came down to it in Haven, it's tied 10-10 for first bloods. How about that stat?
Which is really interesting. Because I feel like a lot of the rounds UNI had first bloods were actually some of the rounds that I lost. I could be wrong. I'm not going to go through all of these right now, but I believe that was one big thing we noticed all game.
Absolutely. So are we doing an interview, or are we going to call it quits here, Monty?
I think we can probably call it at that for this week, but we definitely can get an interview in next week here.
All right, sounds good. So any final thoughts before you wrap up here?
No, I think that should be doing it for tonight.
All right, so just to Make sure that if you want to go ahead and support UNI Panther Esports, go ahead and click that Guardian Pro Line link. That'll take you to a fully customizable jersey, t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, you name it, we got it. And Valentine's Day coming up. Make sure you get something for your gamer in your life and support UNI Panther Esports as well. Next week, UNI will be facing off against Concordia St. Paul White. So we will be here February 10th at 7 p.m. For Monty, working double duty tonight in production and the booth. My name is Hunter. Thank you for joining us as UNI falls to SAU 2-1. So long, and like always, go Cats.